Hi friends, uh, welcome to another video. As voters in a democracy, we forget we are also consumers. Uh, Recently, I had discussions with a few academicians and friends from the faculty who teach MBA students, and we were discussing about the recent assembly elections in the five states, and looked at the results of these elections. We are basically, in a way, brainstorming over the surprises in the election results, especially how the pollsters got it wrong. Not only pollsters, to an extent, even the Congress party and its supporters, and many journalists, senior journalists, and those who probably walked in the rural areas and the urban areas of those five states, made mistake in their assumptions. Well, that's not important now. It's done and dusted. Elections are over. The chief ministers uh, have taken oath, and now they have to tell you. But a friend pointed out that Indian voters do not behave like consumers after they vote. We laughed about it when he said, but then we thought about it. Those who have seen Shah Rukh Khan starrer movie Jawan would remember that famous questions he urges people to ask the candidates before they vote. That's good. It's something that, if you ask me, the Election Commission of India should have done, along with its campaign urging people to exercise their franchise. Not now. I mean, they should have done it when the first elections were held in India. In a way, when the first elections were held in an independent India. The Indian voter is today at the mercy of the government, which may choose to delay or not even bother to fulfill its promises during the election, which it made during the election campaign. And one would have to wait for next 5 years. Does the Indian voter have a recourse if the party, having formed the government, fails to fulfill its promises? It has to, the voter has to wait for 5 years. What do we know now? Let's look at a situation where if you have purchased a product and does not perform what it promises, we return it to the shop. They replace the product or return the money. If the shop does not replace or return, we approach the company, and even if we don't get a response, then we approach the consumer courts. Some companies do warn about the limited liability. So, as consumers, we are aware of those limitations and the care we need to take to get that warranty or guarantee while using that product. Let's hold this thought for some time. Questions have been raised about various promises made and not fulfilled by various political parties in India since the time of independence, after independence, which have fought elections. As a voter, I get to decide to accept or reject a party only after 5 years, with no recourse during that period, because we do not have the right to recall. Protests demanding implementation of the promises and assurance made during the elections are ignored or crushed under the pretext of maintaining law and order. We have seen this. It happens in states, it happens in the center. I mean, I don't have to give you examples, but there are plenty which we have seen. So, what recourse does a voter have? The Election Commission of India wants people to come out and vote and participate in a democracy, right? It results in a few people getting the power to decide the fate of those people who voted by virtue of securing a mathematical majority. Then why should the Election Commission of India be freed of any responsibility if the promises made by political parties, if voted to power, do not work to fulfill them? Assuming that the women of Madhya Pradesh voted for additional benefits of the Ladli Behna scheme that were promised during the election? And what if the state government, for whatever reason, dilutes that Ladli Behna program or does not implement? Does it not amount to tantamount to cheating? If it cannot, it has to have a moral responsibility to name and shame the party. Election Commission of India can do that. If a party in power has failed to fulfill the promises in its manifesto, then Election Commission of India should at least have the moral authority or moral responsibility, I would say, to name that you made this promise but you have not fulfilled. Such a provision can help reiterate that India's election commission is independent and impartial, especially amidst the criticism of the composition of the selection of committee to select the election commissioner. Such a clause will certainly help Indian democracy to actually remember it as mother of democracy. It should not remain a wishful thinking for me or for all of you, but must be translated as a demand from every voter in this country. And it should be communicated to the Election Commission of India. If banks today, while providing loans, seek collaterals, why not voters ask Election Commission of India to be the guarantors of the promises made by the political parties? At least ask. We will get an answer. Thanks for watching. See you soon with a new topic. Have a nice day. Take care.